Yes, Mr. Halsey, I do have Discord. Oh, awesome. Thank you for the link. Dude, are you spamming me right now? It's all good. It's all good. It's all good, mate. I'll reply to this. You know what? Let me see if I can grab a hold of the Discord link of YouTube. I think, nah, restream, that's the right place to go. So yeah, I'll join your server probably at the end of the stream. In the meantime, I'll just like drop my server into the chat so you can see it. Do I have music? Yes, I have music. Good show. Let's see, dashboard, titles. There's Discord. There we go. Hey Jess. Hey Jay. J.A. How have I been? So, let me consider that for a moment. Like yesterday I was struggling with anxiety, but I decided to channel that. I took a walk into the forest here and went to my woodlands temple, and I just lay there on the ground and I was like, I'm gonna give all of this fear to the divine. All of these things I'm afraid will happen, I'm just gonna make peace with the fact that they might happen, and yeah, I know it's in the hands of the universe and the divine. And then I came home and ate some food and watched HP Smoothcraft stream and got some reading from him, and it was a really encouraging reading. It was basically telling me well done for making that breakthrough with the with those feelings. It also gave me a little like smack saying, hey, you've got a lot of tools of communication at your disposal that you're not applying to their potential. So I knew exactly what that meant. It was like, yeah, I've got art, like sketch art, I've got music, and I've got all these different artistic projects going on, and I'm like not connecting the dots. So like the tarot cards that I draw could draw people in, they could like drive traffic into the tarot streams, and I could be like selling sketches of people, like custom sketches. What else did it like point out to me? Oh yeah, it pointed out that I've got music that I could be using as background music. I could put like my own tracks on the background of my streams, and I could like give it to other streamers on a creative license. So yeah, there was some some encouragement, some recognition, and some advice, a little bit of stern advice. HP, bless his heart, his interpretation was like deliciously sugar-coated and very gentle. But yeah, you know me, as soon as I see the cards, I hear what it's telling me. Give Adker a cup of tea. Thank you so much, Kitsune, and welcome. And welcome everybody. I see everybody's just swarming in. Welcome. God's abundant blessings, Kopika Carol, Rupalikana, Fireball Barney, Daniela, who says I'm new here, so welcome Daniela. It's nice to have a new face in the stream. And Kurti, how am I? Yeah, I was just talking about how I've been, and yesterday there was a little bit of like emotional stress, some anxiety, but yeah, we've been dealing with that, and we're putting it behind us and surrendering those fears to the divine. So JA was the first one to join the queue, and that was followed on by God's abundant blessings. So I've got you guys, and I see Fireball Bonnie went to your druid's grove today. Amazing. So basically the way that I was coping with my anxiety yesterday was to go to my own version of a druid's garden. Although I call it my woodlands temple. It's a woodlands fairy temple. That's what I call it. But I can't imagine it's all that much different. Although you say your druid's grove is like a natural enclave, a natural clearing, so my fairy temple is not so natural. I guess it is. The tree line breaks, but it was full of like shrubs that were as tall as me, and I had to clear those shrubs out. The shrubs were like choking indigenous pioneers that were coming up, and I wanted to like give it room so the indigenous pioneers could grow. I'll post some pictures of the temple. So Curdy, you're welcome to ask a question. Jasmine Doga, welcome back. Yeah, Jasmine, you say that Vishal wants to come back. That's that's like a crazy turn of events, because you asked him like 100 times to get back together and he was like no, and then the minute you're like, okay, I'm gonna let go of this relationship now and focus on myself, he's like, I want you so bad. But yeah, the pendulum said, it said that it was better to put it behind you and move on. But since he's coming back into your life, you must decide. Like oftentimes I ask the universe and my holy guardian angel, my ideal self, give me a sign to know which course of action is the right course of action. And my holy guardian angel says to me, I have presented you with this choice to see how you will choose. So I'm not going to tell you which way to go. You need to decide based on the discernment that I've taught you. And yeah. So I'm going to get into those readings for you guys in a jiffy. Let me do my usual on-stream ritual where I roll myself a cigarette. And then we do the readings. Hey Exclaim! You sent me some feedback on Discord. Thank you so much. I will check that out. I will definitely check that out. Ring, ring, ring. There's bells in my ear. Is Power BI technology a right path for my career? Awesome. So that's a very quick one to answer, Curdy. Fireball Bonnie says, I don't need a reading, just some generic advice of the universe and my guides and Loki. Tell me all the following, my intuition, and just do it. But that is all they are saying, so I'm a bit stuck. I only just came as an automatic trance medium and shum and druid. So if I'm making sense of that, you're like, what do I do with these gifts? And they're just yelling, just do it. And you're like, but what must I just do? So then a little bit of a generic advice I can give you, Barney, is like, what do you desire truly? Never mind the labels, never mind the gifts, never mind any of that. What do you desire from life? Like, why are you even here on earth, Barney? Why did you choose to come here? Why did you choose to incarnate? If you can answer yourself that question, because it's there, it's deep in your heart and you can tap into it. What makes life worth living for you? And then you look at your gifts and you look at all the paths in front of you and all the opportunities, and you say, okay, how can I use what the universe has given to me in order to pursue what my heart desires? And that's purpose. And then you just do it. Yes, of course, Jasmine, you can change your question. We haven't really started the tarot yet. We're just chatting for now, and amazing, guys. Thank you for all the views. We've got 10 viewers in the stream at the moment. Please like and share and subscribe. Much appreciated. Your views are valuable to me. And yeah, you just type that question to get into the queue, eh? Ah, Jelly Melly Mellow, welcome, and you're in the queue. I got you, so I'm gonna be checking it out. And Lexus Elise, welcome. And Jessica is promoting me. Thank you so much. And Jenna LF. Okay, so it was LF. I was putting FA for some reason when I was searching you. and it didn't bring me to what I was looking for, unfortunately. Jelly says, I look cozy today. I'm glad. The truth is that I'm a bit sleep deprived. My sleep schedule has been so whacked out lately. So like last night I checked the time and I was like, oh my god, it's 10 to 4 in the morning. I was like, I'm just fuck it, I'm not gonna go to sleep. Instead, I'm gonna get up and go record some music. So I did that. And do some drawing and some writing. And I just got really productive at like 4 a.m. in the morning. And I hadn't slept. So I'm feeling a little sleep deprived, but I'm gonna just go and like crash into my pillow when we're done here. And I've got that big jar of caffeinated tea to keep me going. Oh, Jenna, you don't have a channel yet. Sorry to hear that. Hey, Rupali. Thanks for your question. And Fireball Barney says, so, but I guess the point is, if the universe wants me to teach or do XYZ, it will find a way to allow me to do it, and I have to learn to trust that, I guess. Bingo! The universe wants to support you and the things that you desire. The universe is waiting to give you what your heart desires. It's just waiting. The universe, he, she, is just waiting for you to step out and say, like, as soon as you step out and say, okay, I'm going to do this, whether or not I'm going to fail, then the universe is there to hold you up and push you forward. Number 18, the moon card, realization that you actually have all the tools at your disposal that you needed in order to pursue what it was you wanted to pursue, and realization as in actually applying yourself in order to realize your desires. Yeah, you got some other priorities on your plate there, Jenna. So JA was like a quick read about the situation that I'm in. So you want me to just like read on your situation, or do you actually like have something specific, a specific question, or just you just want me to intuitively give you something, a message regarding your situation? That's what I'm gonna do. You're welcome, Barney, and good luck. Good luck in that mission. Clarity. Okay, so JA is the first one in my queue. Let's give JA some clarity regarding his or her present situation. So what I was just doing there with those sounds, that's a banishing ritual. It's to like align my chakras and bring me into, yeah, some grounding and some focus. So we got 8 here as your past interval card, JA. And this is saying that recently, like whatever the situation is, it's like an adaptation. It's like you adapting and overcoming. It's like the universe is throwing new relationships and new circumstances into your life that are not really compatible with your old lifestyle and your old habits. So most of your energy has been like towards adapting and changing and becoming who you need to be in order to be compatible with this new like frequency that the universe is throwing you into. In the present, we've got 10 of Wands reversed. Okay, so some clarity about the situation is that you are receiving what you have given. Whatever it is that you've been working on, whatever your desire, what you're passionate about, when you started this out, your intentions may not have been 100% healthy. You might have gossiped, you might have lied, you might have... It's talking about both positive and negative intentions that you have sown out towards these people and these systems, whatever it is that you're facing. The situation is basically other people doing unto you what you have done to them in the past, both positive and negative. So healthy intentions you've sown, there are people around you who are there to support you right now. Unhealthy intentions that you've sown, there are people there who want to take advantage of you because that is what they've experienced from you. That card just wants to encourage you to reap what you've sown, to take it and learn from it so that you can put new seeds into the ground. Sow new seeds, and not to be aware of your intentions, more aware of it now, so that you don't have to go through something similar in the future. 10 of Discs is what is opening up for you. So this card is saying keep pushing forward. The situation and all of these variables and all the conflict and whatever is going on, it's kind of like a distraction because there's actually a lot of wealth for you to be harvesting right now. Investments of your time and energy and investments of your wealth are ready to be reaped. The returns are there, the profits are there, and all this cuck that's going on around you, it's kind of distracting you from that. So focus and give back to reaping your harvest, seeing those returns. And that is your reading. Hope you got some value from it. Checking to see who was up next. Making sure that I've got everybody in the queue in the right order. How serious is Mayank? So that's Rupali Khanna. How serious is Mayank? Let's find out, eh? Very serious? Not so serious? He's pretty serious. Maybe too serious. Okay, so something that he's been dealing with recently is like a lifestyle change. Not having as much as he's used to having, so the habits that he had, the luxuries he used to indulge, and the things he used to consider to be essentials, no longer having the income or the financial means to actually sustain those habits or that lifestyle. So he came to this realization of his own. He's like, if I want to save, if I want to get out of debt, I need to start like cutting certain habits out of my lifestyle so that there can be a better balance between what I'm earning and what I'm spending. And that is... No, Rupali Khanna, I'm asking in general and towards you and towards the universe and in every sense of the word serious. So this is what he's been going through. Listen to what the cards say, there might be value there for you. I did not ask a generalized question. In the present, he is making decisions about what kind of relationship he wants to be in and what he actually wants out of a relationship. Like, does he want to have a home space and live together? Does he want to be married? Does he just want sex? What does he actually want? What is his end goal? He's busy deciding those things. So he's pretty serious about reaching out to you and connecting with you, but he's in the present, he's busy deciding how big this outcome is. What is the long-term goal? Like, is it marriage? Is it living together? Is it friends? He's deciding now in the present. I'm so sorry that you're disappointed with your reading, but what can I say? Future interval is number 7 reversed, the Chariot. So this is saying that he's going to feel like overwhelmed. once he's made his decision, he's going to be feeling a bit overwhelmed by what that requires of him. Once he's decided what this outcome looks like in this relationship between you and him, very specific. He's going to feel overwhelmed by what that requires of him. How much he's going to have to sacrifice of his own selfish behaviors, and how flexible he's going to have to be, and the changes that have to happen. He's going to feel overwhelmed by it, like it's more effort than it's worth. It does tell me that he's going to stick to it though. Whatever decision he makes, he's going to stick to it. Even if he feels overwhelmed by it at first, he's going to stick to it. Really sorry that you didn't get any value out of that, Ripalikana. So sorry. It seems quite valuable to me, but anyway. Moving on. God's abundant blessings wants to know, how can I be reborn? What should I do to move forward in life? Basically, how to start over. Okay. So there are many ways to create a rebirth. Like medicine ceremony will do that to you. It is the autumn equinox, so autumn equinox is like Hell's Day. It's all about death of the old and birth of the new as we move towards winter. Well, that might not be true for you, you know, you might be moving into summer. I'm moving into winter because I'm in the southern hemisphere. But yeah, I'm planning to do some ceremonies tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little fire ritual, burn some things from the past that don't serve. I'm gonna offer some blood sacrifices. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't agree with that idea, but death is a very powerful tool. And you know, we eat meat all the time, and those animals have to die to get eaten. So, you know, this is farm life. We're just making it sacred. I really feel like you're breaking the container, Rupalikana, so I'm not gonna reply to you anymore. How can Gopika Carol deliberately cause rebirth for herself? We have a 5, the Hierophant reversed. So this is saying the reason you want this rebirth, the reason you feel like you need to start over, is because you have been, first of all, trying to do more than you're capable of. Like using the strength that you have, using the knowledge that you have, you've been trying to do more than what that is actually capable of. Trying to take steps that are too big for your legs, basically. And then the other thing that is saying to me is that you have been, your role models, the people that you admire or think are successful, have not been the healthiest role models. So following those examples plus trying to do more than what you're actually capable of has resulted in like backsliding. You're trying to take a step to go forward, but you end up going 2 steps backward. And it's creating a lot of frustration for you and making you feel really stagnant. But it doesn't really matter, you know, you're learning through the process. So even if it feels like you're going back more than you're going forward, you're still learning. So there is still fortune to be reaped there. That card has some advice for you, saying you need to become the example. Instead of looking for an example in the outside world, you need to look inside for that example. Identify what is ideal and healthy character traits that exist within you, and then nurture those. Become the example you don't have. And then the other thing I want to say to you is just take smaller steps, Take smaller steps in the future. Yeah, whether you go through a rebirth or not, it's probably going to happen. It happens to all of us on the regular. But whatever it is, whatever you end up doing, take smaller steps next time, so that you don't have to go through all the frustration and stagnation you've been dealing with in the past, recently. In the present, decisions is what is happening for you, not rebirth. You don't need to go through an entire rebirth. You just need to clearly identify where you're going, and then let go of anything and everything that does not serve that outcome. Create it in your mind clearly. What do you want your life to look like? And what aspects of your routine and your habits and your lifestyle and the people, your connections, your relationships, what part of your life keeps you away from that outcome? Let go of it all. And what kind of habits and what kind of people can you start interacting with that'll bring you closer to it? And then adapt those new habits and that new lifestyle. Future interval is the Fool. So this one wants to just say to you, don't cling onto the old cycle. You recognize that you need to start over, like you said. You recognize you need to start from scratch. You need to have this rebirth. But you're still tending to cling onto old habits. We saw again identifying those old habits and letting go. So you having a tendency to not want to let go, like an attachment, hanging on to things that don't serve you, hanging on to old relationships, old habits, old patterns, and yeah, you gotta let go of it. You gotta accept that it's time to cut that off because it's not serving you and it's keeping you from stepping into a new journey. The reason you hang on to these things is because of fear of the unknown, fear of not having, fear that this new journey is not going to have the comforts or the abundance that you have had so far. But the truth is, there's potential for so much more within that new cycle and that new period. So step out, take that leap, let go of the old, despite the fear that's biting into you. Despite it. Just look it in the eye and move forward anyway. Yeah, I see Jessica said to God's abundant blessings. Good question. Definitely a valuable question. So Curdy wants a question now, and then Jasmine Dorgo wants a question. You're welcome, Gopika. So like, at what point did you ask your question? Curty, at what point did you ask a question? I'm just like scrolling endlessly. I'm not finding a question, but I know you asked a question. Oh yeah, is that the right career path for you? Cool, thanks for confirming. Bippity boppity boop. Okay, I'm gonna do your reading for you now. I'm gonna just confirm who was next. It was Jasmine. Jasmine Dorgo is up after Cody. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna ask the tarot to give you like a piece of advice. Tarot of the thought. Please give Curti some advice regarding this career path. Okay, so on behalf of Curti is Power BI the correct career path? Nay. Pendulum is saying nay, no, it's not the right career path. It's swinging in a clockwise rotation saying you can make it your career path if you want. You can receive a lot of abundance from it, a lot of wealth, a lot of security, a lot of fulfillment, but there are other career paths that would be more aligned with your authentic being and what you actually enjoy doing and what you're passionate about. Jasmine, if you don't mind like reconfirming that question, because I don't see it. So thank you so much. But we're going to look at that tarot and see what the Thought Tarot has to say. I wonder if anybody gets that joke. Two of Discs reversed. And basically this is saying that this job, this career opportunity for Power BI technology, it's not the first time. It's not the first time that you have gotten into your bonnet, like this bee in your bonnet, that this opportunity in front of you is the correct path and you must take it. And every single one of them has had the potential for great financial abundance. But because of your uncertainty about whether or not it's going to be the right thing for you, you have not committed to the potential. So the opportunity arises and you're like, yes, I must grab it. So you jump onto it. And then you're like, actually, I don't know if this resonates with me. So you don't commit to it. Then you're like, planted the seed for growth and abundance. And then you were like, I actually don't feel like watering the seed because I don't like the fruit that I've planted. I'm like, oh, I need to plant a fruit tree. I've got some apple seeds. Let me throw those seeds in the ground. Wait, I don't actually like apples. I'm not going to water these seeds. And that's basically how it's been. And it's been a repeat cycle. So this is just wants to say to you, do something different this time. Either go for it or leave it alone. If you go for it, commit to it. Otherwise, leave it alone and really get serious about what you're passionate about and not jumping on opportunities for other things. Hey Angelo, welcome back. Jasmine Dorgo says, will I get MBBS in Armed Forces Medical College this year? I want to be a doctor in the Indian Army. Will I get MBBS in Armed Forces Medical College this year? Let's find out, eh? Let's see what the tarot has to say. What does the Spirit of Wisdom have to say about this military medicine career? So is it the right course of action? Hey Evo, thank you for joining me and for lurking and like pushing my views up. I love the support. Much appreciation. I hope you loved the sketch that I sent you. I love it. I like really love it. It impresses me. On behalf of Jasmine Dorgo, will she get MBBS in the Armed Forces Medical College this year? So the pendulum is saying yes. It's also rotating anti-clockwise, and that is saying that anti-clockwise rotation is a warning to you, saying just because the pendulum has said yes, it doesn't make it absolute. It doesn't mean it's your absolute definite future. You're still going to have to put in the work to make it real. You're still going to have to study, you're still going to have to commit, you're still going to have to go to classes, and you're still going to have to thrive in that field. But yes, if you do it and you commit to it and you go for it, it will happen for you. Now let's see what that thought has to say. Ace of Discs reversed. Starting a new financial journey. That's what this is saying. It's saying you're starting a new financial journey. It's also talking about communication. Because you know that's the first part. I kind of feel like this is your application period. This is talking about you in your application period and doing like physical exams. It's just wanting you to be completely honest and vulnerable and be professional in your application letters, and to be completely honest about any medical conditions you might have, addictions, any medication you're taking, anything like that. You need to be completely clear and honest about it, otherwise you will see it will come back to bite you once you're actually there. "16 hours a day, brilliant." Yeah, so if you stay committed, you'll get there. Just remember to take one day out in a week where you like take care of yourself and you rest and you bath and you like put salts in the bath and incense and maybe some petals. Make it really like relaxing. Light some candles, have a good meal, avoid screens. Read something that doesn't require huge amounts of focus. Maybe listen to some music, play some music, draw. Yeah. Just remember to take a day out to rest so you don't get burned out. Okay, so now we've got Jessica O in the queue. Hello Kelly Seaware, welcome back. Nice to have you back in the chat. It's been a while since I saw you. Maybe I've been offline for a while. I don't know. Is Saria missing me? Says Kelly. So I got you. You're in the queue. Thank you. Alright, Jessica O wants to know the current feelings of Avi the Virgo. Good luck, Jessica. Good luck on your journey into someone else's mind and emotional body. You're very brave to undertake that journey. How does Avi the Virgo feel about Jessica O? I didn't close the curtains and it's dark. I'm gonna be with you now, Jess. I'll do that reading in a sec. Princess of Wands is your first card. She is reversed. So this card is saying a couple things to me. You know how in the Fool there's like a tiger? I don't know if you're familiar with the Thoth Tarot, but there's like a tiger biting into the Fool's leg, and that tiger represents fear. Now here in the Princess of Wands, that tiger is dead. So that fear is dead. Whatever it was you were afraid of at the beginning, when you started this relationship, when you started interacting, whatever gave you the most anxiety, that thing is dead. So you can actually leave that fear behind. It's like not even valid or present anymore. And the other thing that that card wants to say to you is that in past relationships, you've had a little bit of a struggle being flexible with what you desire. Like you have certain desires and intentions that you work towards personally, and naturally your partners have their own desires and their own intentions, and yeah, there's been a little bit of difficulty with you being flexible and allowing their process to like be involved in your desires and your outcome, and vice versa. So that's something just to be aware of, so you can see if you can try and be more flexible in the present, because basically it's saying you want in an ideal relationship, let's say, you want to be able to let his creative process support your creative process, and vice versa. You also want to... Snap, every time I get there, it like disappears from my mind. The thought just buggers off. You want to incorporate him in the outcome. That's what I was trying to say. Like your vision of your outcome and your desires, is he there with you? Because if not, then like, where's the relationship actually going? Just something to be aware of. So in the present, you're bringing up some emotional baggage for him that he thought he'd already dealt with. Emotional baggage from his past, triggers, wounds, things he thought he had dealt with that were actually just under the surface, and he felt healed because he wasn't in a relationship, but now that the relationship's on the horizon, he's realizing that those things are actually still unresolved. But he's also watching you and how you've coped with your emotional baggage coming out of past relationships, how you've dealt with it, and that's inspiring him, and he's learning from you like an example. And not only is he learning from you, but you're also learning from him. He's got a piece of the puzzle that you don't yet have, as you have a piece of the puzzle for him that he doesn't yet have. And it's difficult to realize that the things he thought he'd worked through are not actually all that done and dusted as he thought, but he is getting you tools to do better with that, to make progress. Dual Insanity, welcome, and welcome Ishika on YouTube. Future interval 6 of discs reversed. So again, it's talking about evolution through your relationship, how you're going to make each other aware of limits, things that haven't been resolved or things you've been struggling with, but then also give each other the tools that are necessary to overcome. So these sixes, both of these sixes in the present and the future, it's saying that for him this relationship is deep. It's a strong connection. He feels it's a strong soul connection, and a strong emotional connection, and a strong physical intimate connection as well. But it does present some challenges and some things that he thought he'd worked through that he actually hasn't worked through. But he is learning from you as you are learning from him, and he's getting the tools and he needs to overcome that. So Ishika, yes, there is a list. And Jessica, that's your reading there. I hope that it inspires you and helps you alleviate some of those anxieties you've been struggling with. So next up is Jelly Melly Mellow. Please confirm. And then Alexis is after Jelly Melly Mellow. Ishika, you're added. Thanks so much for the follow. But yeah, Jessica, you are added. I mean, Ishika. Excuse me, I'm a little bit sleep deprived. Sure thing, Dual Insanity. I look forward to that reading. Thank you for confirming, Jelly. And you're most welcome, Jess. Did I, shuffle these cards yet? I don't think I did. Jelly's also brave, diving into the unconscious and, the thought processes of the people around her. It just creates a whole lot of unnecessary stress for me if I do that. If I, try and hear what people are thinking or saying, it creates a lot of unnecessary stress. That person is idealizing me. Oh, geez, it strokes my ego and I've got to deal with that cuck. That person is feeling resentful and jealous. Oh dear, now I'm anxious, feeling like they're scheming to sabotage me. No, thank you. I don't want to know what other people are thinking about me. But you're welcome to know what people are thinking about you. Okay. I smell potato fries. Okay, so what are people thinking of Jelly? What do people perceive in Jelly? How do people feel about Jelly? I know that I like jelly. Jello is one of my favorite desserts, with a bit of cream and custard. I'm messing with you now, excuse me. So your first card here is a 7 of Swords reversed. So people are looking at you and they'd be like, Jelly, you spend way too much time in your headspace. You contemplate all of the possible ways into the future, all the possible outcomes in front of you, and you allow it to overwhelm you so that you don't end up making any decision or actually choosing any course of action. Or you do, but it takes you way longer than it's necessary and you cause yourself a lot of stress in the process. In the present we have number 10 reversed, fortune reversed. So this is saying that people are seeing you as having a lot of fortune, like a lot of abundance, spiritually, emotionally, physically, in every sense of the word, but you have a tendency to overlook it and feel like you haven't actually made progress, when from their perspective they're like, how can you feel that way or say that? You've got so much. It kind of triggers them. It's like a triggering thing for them, like you complaining about your situation, but they're like, you've got so much, what do you have to complain about? And so that's something that people are seeing in the present. The 7 of Swords is something that has been in the past. It's a reoccurring thing. It happened recently in the past, but it's something that has been reoccurring throughout your past. Like you get faced with decisions or opportunities and then you get really much into your headspace, anxious, and you're overwhelmed by all the possibilities. And in the present, people are feeling triggered by the fact that you have a lot and you overlook it. You have a tendency to not recognize how much abundance the universe has actually given you and how much you've actually received from all of the efforts and investments of your time that you've made. Always looking on the horizon of what you don't have yet, seldomly tending to look past the things that are actually in your present, and it's triggering for them. something that's opening up, is the Hierophant reversed. So this is interesting, being in a future position. I feel like this is saying to you, don't try and go out of your way to change what they're thinking of you. Take the advice from the tarot, have a look at your present and like practice some gratitude and mindfulness of what's in your present and what you do have, rather than focusing on what you still have to achieve. Also, when faced with new decisions and new opportunities and new possibilities, recognize that you have a tendency to get into your headspace and allow anxiety and overwhelm to like cloud your judgment. Take a step back because you're now aware of it. Basically take what the tarot is saying to you, what other people's thoughts are saying to you, and make some changes inside. Don't like try and deliberately alter what people are thinking of you, because that would be to reach further than what you can actually achieve. To try and deliberately cause people to shift their perspective is going to end up making it worse. It's going to end up making them see you as an unhealthy example, and as someone that maybe they don't really want to be spending a lot of time with. So rather go inward and make the changes that you believe are necessary inside you in order to see growth. And through your demonstration, through your actions and your example, you will change people's minds and they will start seeing you clearly. So next we have Alexis. Hope you got some value, Jelly. What are Katie's feelings towards me at this time? So many of these. So many. What is today? Today is the 20th. It's judgment. It's about judging yourself. And judging the actions and examples of others around you, whether or not their example would result in benefit or detriment to you. What is the other one? Channeling. Channeling your emotional experience rather than allowing it to dictate your course of action. Yeah, from Earth, you're early enough in the stream to get a free reading. Thank you for joining us again today. And yeah, please drop your question to get into that queue. Ishika Asawa says mine is similar. Haha. Haha, indeed. Everybody wants to know what everybody else is thinking. I don't know. You guys will have to learn the lesson for yourselves. You'll have to recognize that knowing what other people are feeling and thinking just creates stress for you. But you'll have to figure that out on your own. I can't make you see that. Angelo, I believe you are on the list. I believe so. I saw you come in earlier. Did you type #tarot? Did you ask a question? Did you say I want to be on the list? Because if you did any of those things, then you are on the list for sure. So Alexis, I'm kind of waiting for you to confirm that you're still here. Alexis Elise. Alexis Elise. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll and see who else is in the queue so long. From Earth is saying, what does T think of me or see me as? She seems to like me, thanks. Has she told about me to others? What's going on? Channel, guys. Apply authority to your emotions. Don't let your emotions have authority over your actions. But okay, so we're doing Alexis reading. Alexa, turn on disco lights. Jessica O says Jenna. So I see Jenna did join and said hi there, but did Jenna actually ask to get a reading? I don't see a question for a reading from Jenna. So Alexis, is Katie like your ex-best friend or your present best friend, or... Did I trigger you a bit, Alexis? Is it a joke you've heard way too often? You have a strobe light. Did it go on? Because that would be crazy. What just happened there? Something happened there, but whatever. Okay, so what is Katie feeling towards Alexis? How is Katie perceiving Alexis? The insects are trying to get in through the windows, banging themselves against the glass. Welcome, Jessie. Ace of Cups in the position of your past. So this is saying to me that you guys have... Thank you for the subscription. It's saying to me that you guys have like had this emotional bond where you talk about your emotional experiences and you give each other emotional support. Also creativity. You guys have like creative talents and you talk about it with each other. It's something that's like your common ground. You talk about your efforts and your creative endeavors and your creative projects, and you know how it is when you just finished doing something creative, you want to share it with someone. So Katie has kind of been the person that you go and share it to, and you've kind of been that person for Katie as well. Yeah, it's a nice kind of relationship that you've had. In the present, it's come in full circle. All of that energy and time that you've invested into the relationship, Katie feels like it's reaching its completion and its fullness. She feels like there might have been times where she was uncertain of where this friendship was going or this relationship, but from her current perspective, she feels like, yeah, you are valuable. You're a valuable connection. This is a valuable relationship because you reflect all of the support and energy that she invests into the relationship. You reflect it back, and she really appreciates that. Future interval is a 3 of discs, so this is like she is hoping that soon you guys can actually start working together in your creative endeavors, where start some kind of project together, something that will bring you both finances and wealth and abundance, and even, dare I say it, financial security. That's what she's hoping for. That's like her long game, her midterm game. She's like, yeah, I think it'll be a really great idea if we started a project together where you do your creative thing, I do my creative thing, and we allow it to support each other, we promote each other, and yeah, work together, partnership kind of vibes. So that is your reading, Alexis. I hope it encourages you, and I hope that you feel the same way, or you've been feeling similar. I hope it doesn't come as a shock, because she probably hasn't communicated most of that stuff yet. It's stuff that's going on up here for her, and in here. Kelly C. Webb is changing her question. Radha has joined our chat saying, can I ask a question? So yeah, you can. You're in the queue. Just leave me that question whenever you are ready. Or maybe just wait until I call your name and then give me the question. It'll make more sense that way. Then I don't have to scroll. And then Jessica says, I'd like some advice on how to handle this person. I'm having a hard time. I'd like to get some ideas on how to handle him and my job. Jessie says, sorry, I deleted my question. It's still here on my screen. I can still see it. Didn't get deleted. Any advice, please, on how to handle my boss, JM, and my task? I'm having a hard time at work. Cool. We'll get to you, Jess, and we will see what the universe and the spirits therein have to say. And you're welcome, Alexis. Thank you. If you haven't already, I'll really appreciate a subscription from you and maybe a like on this video. That would really help me. Thank you so much. And if anyone ever feels inclined, I don't know, maybe you have this like urge in your heart to do something to help your mages out, just, send him a tip. He would love you long time. Entirely optional, by the way. So let's see. Who was next up in the queue? Da 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 da. Got a lot of chatting. Lots of chatting. Thanks. Some conflict. Angelo! Hey, I want to know if the girl I like from the Leo sign and I gonna be together soon. So Angelo, I got you and you're up next. And then Radha says, what's coming next for my relationship with R? So is that a relationship with you? Radha is asking about a relationship with himself or herself? That is profound. I'm teasing you, by the way. I know that R and R are separate people, but I was just like calling attention to the fact that the person you have known the longest is you. The person you have the closest relationship with is you. So I know it's like completely irrelevant to your question, but maybe like developing your relationship with yourself every now and then would be a good idea. Just throwing it out there, some food for thought. Thank you so much, Jessie. Dual Insanity says, did Ikisa already go? Ah, so that's a nice yes and no question. So Angelo doesn't seem to be here. Angelo. Kelly C. Webb. So I remember you changed your question, Kelly. What was the change that you made? Cause, yeah, okay, I guess I can search for it. Kelly C. Webb, if I may, I would like to change my question. When will I talk to Kevin again? Thanks. Is he alive? Because if he's alive, you can talk to him anytime. Actually, if he's dead, you can talk to him anytime too. Doesn't really matter. When people die, initially they like hang around in certain spaces, but at some point they like move on, and once they move on, then you have to reach out to them. Like while they're still hanging around in the in-between, then they might reach out to you or connect to you, but once they move on and they're resting, then you gotta go to them. You gotta like make an altar to them and put a picture of them there and like reach out to their energy. He's alive. Okay, well then you can send him a text anytime. But we will still consult the tarot. Oh, he's not replying, I see, so he's like ghosting you. Sorry to hear that. It might not be relevant to you, but oftentimes I can feel overwhelmed if someone is like spamming me with messages and then changing the subject completely before I even able to get back to them. That can make me feel overwhelmed, and it can like create a resistance to me even opening the chat. So yeah, maybe some more food for thought. So Dual Insanity, I remember you joined the queue after Ishika. So did I read for Ishika? No, there's Ishika coming up soon. Kelly C. Webb, and then I see Ishika joins and Dual Insanity joins. Cool. Kelly C. Webb says, yes, that's kind of what I did. Well, yeah, most of the time, the little intuitive nudges that I get from the spirit are there for a reason. I'm glad I trusted it and spoke my mind. But here we go, let's read anyway. Let's ask wisdom on what's going on here. I'm going to rephrase your question a little bit. I'm not going to ask you when will you talk to Kevin again. I'm going to ask something like, how can you be the energetic match for recovery in this relationship? How can you like adjust your frequency to make it more inviting for him to actually want to chat to you and talk to you? And yeah, so how can we do that, wisdom? How can we do that? Yes, exclaim, thank you. I did see that message where you thanked me for Wednesday's reading, and you're most welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for your feedback. I haven't checked it out on Discord yet, but I will. Yeah, and I'll text you once I do get around to reading it. Maybe not today, because yeah, sleep deprived. Just gonna go and like crash into the pillow and pass out. By the way, guys, Exclaim is talking about Wednesday Blackwood Scrying, where I seek visions in a bowl of black water, and I cast spells, and I do Reiki healing. And what else do we do? Numerology readings. Yeah, Wednesdays gets really deep. You too, Exclaim. See you soon. Okay, so Kelly, we've got the Tower as your first card. This is just basically saying that you have made him aware of his insecurities, and this is kind of why he stepped back, because he's believed things about himself, he's believed things about reality, he's believed things about what he's capable of, and you kind of challenged him in those beliefs, kind of expecting him to follow through on them, and then when he tried, he realized, oh snap, these things I've been believing are not entirely true, and that was really jarring for him. He was like, oh shit, if I'm not all these things I believe, then what am I? What's my worth? And it's caused like a real deconstruction in his identity, and he's had to go deep into himself to find where his value actually lies truthfully. No problem, Jen, and thank you for confirming. Present card for you, Kenny. 3 of Wands. So this is self-awareness. It's saying that the way you can move towards your desire, which is to have this relationship with him, whether it's platonic or romantic, whatever your intention is there, not really irrelevant, but being self-aware, being aware of yourself, your desire, and your intention behind every message that you send, behind every interaction. Like, am I sending this message because I want a response from him? Or am I sending this message because I want to brighten his day? Being self-aware of your intention, and then what outcome you hope to accomplish through this communication or through this relationship, being aware of that as well. Do you want like an emotional support buddy? Do you want a fuck buddy? Do you want... what is it that you want from this? Being aware of it at its core. That will... that shift from unawareness into awareness, that is going to shift your frequency and make it a lot more inviting, or a lot easier for him to actually step out and talk to you and actually try and make this relationship happen from his end. If he starts to see that shift in you, of you becoming aware of all these things, it's gonna bring some positivity into it all. Knight of Discs reversed. So this is saying the current state of the relationship is gonna die, and it's gonna be reborn into something new. It's saying that there has been a lot of physical intimacy in the relationship in the past, and that aspect of it is going to die. It's going to change, but this change is good. It actually brings the relationship into a state of higher value, like a higher frequency relationship, where you're both getting more value out of the relationship. It's no longer surface level. It's actually deeper and more authentic, and more vulnerable. So that's probably going to look like a big blowout, a big argument, a lot of yelling, some angry text messages, but in the resolution of it all, it's going to bring about healthier change. So From Earth wants to know the list, and welcome Almondine. Thank you for joining us. Whoops. Whoops. What am I doing? Okay, let's have a look at that Q. Q, Q, Q. So Dual Insanity comes into the chat and says, hey. Ishika comes into the chat and says, hey. Asks about the list, asks to be added, gets added. Dual Insanity gets added right after. So we got Ishika up next, and then Dual Insanity. And then Captain Roz. And then From Earth. And then Jesse in Riyadh. And then Radha. And then Mirage. So next up is Ishika. But before I lay those cards out for you, Ishika, I'm gonna go and use a toilet because my bladder is full. So full, it's bursting. It needs to be emptied and depleted. feel like all these manic vibes from not sleeping. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you for sticking around, and welcome to all the new viewers. I was just using the toilet. Welcome. Okay, reading for Ishika. I should like get a little thing that I can just like put it on the screen there that says loo break. Speaking of loos, my balls are aching from all the sex. Excuse me. Let's see. Ishika, what was your question again? It was something to do with like someone else's feelings? Let me see. Sanat's current thoughts about you. Cool. What is Sanat thinking about Ishika? So, Hanged Man reversed, number 12, that's your first card. So what is this card saying about his thoughts? It's kind of saying that you have presented him with a lot of like obstacles, challenges. The fact of you, like in his reality, your presence, it's presented him with like various obstacles. As this relationship has developed, whether it's platonic or not, he has realized that at a certain point he's going to have to face some things he didn't want to face, and he neglected it, and it kind of turned into suffering where he felt anxious and doubtful and guilty. Whether those things were valid or not, whether that emotional experience was valid or not, he was still having those feelings, not really sure how to face them or how to express himself clearly. So in the present we've got a Princess of Discs. He's feeling like you... How can I sugarcoat this one nicely? He's feeling like you are not really interested in being flexible. Like you have your own idea of what is essentials when it comes to expenses and budgeting, like the things that you need in your physical space to make you secure, the things that you require in order to feel secure and safe. He feels like you're not really prepared to be flexible within that, and he feels like that's a detriment because he's got his own ideas of what is essential, what is required for security, and it conflicts with yours. And he can also be flexible with you, but he's kind of blaming it on you. Instead of saying, hey, I could also be flexible, he's expecting you to like cover all the slack and be flexible. And there's another thing that card is saying to me, is that he doesn't feel all that satisfied in the bedroom. I don't know if your relationship is on that level, but it's something that he wants, it's something he desires, and he doesn't feel like that need is being met. Future interval is the Prince of Cups. So this Prince of Cups, it's talking about being enduring. It's saying that despite all of these emotional feelings, all of this weirdness that's going on in his thoughts, whether it's valid or not, despite all of it and all the emotional experiences it brings, his plan is to just endure through it and hope that he can reach some kind of breakthrough. And that is, this card is saying that is a good course of action for him, to just endure through it, because most of it's irrational thoughts and irrational feelings, and yeah, recognizing that and not reacting to it, instead choosing to endure through it and push forward, it is a good idea. Captain Roz says, sounds like it is her secret crush. Maybe not so secret. So we got Dual Insanity up next. And Dual Insanity had a pretty simple question about somebody already going. Do you mind reposting that question? Wait, there, I got it. Did Ikisa already go? Oh, you haven't written your question. My mistake. I thought when you asked me, did Ikisa already go, I thought that was your question. Okay, well, I'm ready for your question. Well, Ishika, I hope that you got some value out of that. Dual Insanity saying, please look into the universe and ask who I am. It's pretty deep. It's pretty deep. Captain Roz says, well, no, he isn't getting the hint. He thinks he'll like his friend. Captain Roz seems to be speaking out of experience, as if Captain Roz is the one we're talking about. I'm a psychic myself, what can I say? I feel like it's a little bit deeper than that, Captain Roz. It's not like he feels like it's friends. It's almost like he's reluctant to go further because of all these resistances, because of all these irrational feelings and thoughts that are going on in his head. He's like reluctant to take action one way or another, away from or towards the relationship, because of all of that irrationality. He wants intimacy and physical contact, though. That is something that is a big factor for him. So Dual Insanity, let's see. So, something that the universe is already saying to me, Dual Insanity, is that the only reason you can feel those things, that you can feel such tremendous hatred and feel such tremendous frustration or vengeance, is because of the depths of your love. You experience huge amounts of love and affection, and when that is threatened, that is when the vengeance and the hatred comes up. So you are not, it's not like there's this evil dragon in you and this loving dragon in you. They're one and the same. The only reason you feel those difficult things is because you feel those positive things. They are working together. They are one and the same being. You are one Who is dual insanity? Ace of Discs. That card is saying to me that you are a magician with technology, a magician with finances. You are you're able to take something and multiply it. You're able to take nothing and multiply it into something and cause it to become something of value. Take something that has no value and give it immense value. You that's who you are. You pull things out of the abyss. But you've been doing this for people other than yourself. It's like you've got some kind of resistance to applying this potential that lies inside of you to your own life and to yourself. You only feel like that skill or that niche ability has value when someone else requires it. You can't seem to find a reason to apply it for yourself, and that's got to shift. You've got to turn that the right way around. You've got to look at how you can use that ingenuity for your own benefit and your own gain to create your own empire. Start a new journey. Ten of Swords, Four of Swords, okay. So what you have been doing and the people you have been working with and the goals you had set, all of that is coming to a close now. Whether or not you completed those goals or fulfilled that purpose, it is done. It's completed. The universe decided it was done. Remember, there's no such thing as failure. If you feel like you've failed, it's a lesson. You've learned a lot through the process. Four of Swords is saying that whatever you choose now, you need to commit to it and discipline yourself within it. Set structure and routine, mental discipline, focus. That's what it takes. That's what it has always taken. For you to pull things out of the abyss, to make something out of nothing, it requires immense focus and will. And yeah, you need to set some kind of structure where you can apply that and discipline yourself within that. Discipline your focus and your thoughts, mental discipline. I hope you get some value from that dual insanity. I hope that it gives you a heading. You're welcome. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I can feel the buzzing soda water moving along my spine. I wonder if anyone else can feel it. Selah, we pause to contemplate the magnitude of what has been revealed. You can feel the buzzing. Ah, there it is again. Lots of power. Lots of power flowing here. look to see who came in after Dual Insanity. I'd love to like chat with you guys about that sensation, because it's something that's become quite familiar to me, and I wonder how regularly you guys experience it, and what kind of triggers you've noticed to cause it for you. First time for you. Crazy. Welcome to the family. Dare I say it, you just had a Kundalini awakening. Maybe not, who knows. Just a word. Kundalini is just a word. So where are we in the chat here? So the next in the chat is Jessie. Jessie in Riyadh. Jessie Riyadh. After Jessie is Radha. Jessie is here. Awesome. So Captain Roz, you're still quite a ways down. There's like 2 or 3 people in the queue ahead of you still. So Jessie's looking for some advice on how to handle her boss and the task she's been set. Okay, let's have a look at that one. Alright, what guidance does the universe and the spirits thereof have for Jessie regarding this work situation? So we got number 8. 8 is reversed. So this boss and his attitude and this task that you've been set, it's not actually compatible with your habits and your coping mechanisms. So it's kind of like the universe is giving you this challenge. It's like saying, hey, you have grown enough and you've learned enough. It's time for you to face this challenge and make a breakthrough. You need to shift, because there's a specific person you need to become before you get your desires and things that you have asked for. And so this is part of that process of you shifting into who you need to become, learning how to cope with this kind of situation and get your responsibilities filled while coping with an asshat boss. It's part of your lesson. And the universe wants to say to you, do the best that you can with what you know and with what you have. And then it doesn't matter if you fail or succeed or get sculled or get fired. You did the best that you could. Don't try and reach too far, because that will ultimately result in failure. Take small steps based on how much you know and how much time and resource you have at your disposal. And then this card also, another piece of advice here. You want to know how to handle your boss? Be his example. Like, he's supposed to be an example for you, but he's an unhealthy example. He's causing cuck for you, so you become the example that he is not being for you. You become an example for him to follow. That's how you cope with it. If he is being aggressive and impatient and discompassionate, you don't have to react to any of that stuff. You can just be like, yes, thank you for your input, I'm doing what I can, and then just move on. He can yell and do whatever he wants, but you stay focused, you stay centered. You don't have to like step into his frequency or engage with that aggression or that stress or whatever it is that he's projecting. You don't have to take it, you don't have to engage with it. Future interval here is the Two of Discs reversed. So this is saying that this job that you're in and this task that you have in front of you, it's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for abundance and security. It's going to require some changes, as we saw with that number 8. More than that, it's also going to require commitment. Because of all the resistance you're feeling, because of the fact that you're having a hard time coping with him and his energy, and feeling overwhelmed by the task that has been set for you, you might be inspired to like cop out, to abandon it, to run away from it. And this card is saying to you that to do that, you will miss out on a lot of abundance. You will miss out on a very big opportunity for you. So knuckle down, commit to it, and endure to the end, because you can make it. And whether or not you get promoted or recognized, even if he doesn't recognize you or appreciate the efforts, you will learn through it, and it will be something that will help you in the future. It will be something that is a great card to have up your sleeve in the future. Radha wants to know what's coming next for me in my friendship with R. Captain Roz wants to know, can I type my question now? You're welcome to type a question, but I might ask you to repost it. Ish. Okay, reading for Radha. Are you here, Radha? Yes, thank you for joining me, Dual Insanity, and enjoy your meal. I'm looking forward to mine. Hi, Sabrina. Hope you're doing well. When will you meet Justin in real life? We'll find out, I guess. Radha, Radha, Radha. Your dearest friend. We're reading about your dearest friend now. Are you here still? Radha on YouTube. Radha. Okay, I'm gonna start moving on. Gotta remember to breathe. Just now I forget. Then it would be very obvious that I'm not human if I had to forget to breathe. So after Radha would be from Earth. From Earth, from Earth. From Earth seems to have left the chat as well. Excuse me if I seem a little distracted. I'm like eavesdropping on the conversation in the next room. My elephant ears are hearing things. Okay, let's see. Who is after that? Captain Ross. Captain, are you here? Captain asked me a question like, do you have any tips that I can live like you without any negativity on my life? You seem to be very peaceful. So I'm not without any negativity. I have a lot of shadows. Captain, you're up next, bro. I have a lot of shadows, and things trigger me, and I get negative and bleak and miserable, and I actually have bipolar mood disorder, so every day is like a fucking roller coaster between depression and mania. But to give you a little tip on how you can find a bit more peace regardless of what your experience is like, is to surrender it. To surrender whatever it is that's bothering you, the pain, the frustration, the fear, whatever it is, and give it up. Like say, hey, I actually don't want any right to this feeling anymore. I'm gonna give all the rights to this feeling to the universe and to the divine. And like, okay, I'm afraid, I've got anxieties and stresses if this is gonna happen, that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna surrender it. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. I'm accepting the fact that that might happen, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it if it does happen. It's not the end of the world. I am secure. We will find a way to get through. So, Captain, are you interested in a reading still, or would you like me to move on? Or are you busy typing your question, or are you contemplating what I just said? All of these things? I see. Okay, well, I'm gonna check who else is on the queue in the meantime. Toyota, Miss Libra. Oh, Toyota, I don't know why I read it like that. Toya, Miss Libra 81 wants to ask a question. I didn't see you earlier, Toya, but welcome if you're still here. Ishika was saying, I literally told him that I find him cool and if we could go out. So I think he very much knows I like him. Okay, so Captain Ross, while you take your time, please do, no hurry, no rush. I'm gonna throw From Earth back into that queue because From Earth has returned. Returned from the void. Welcome back to the light. Or maybe I should say welcome back to the dark side. We have cake. I lie, we don't have cake. I wish we had fucking cake. You would get some cake, he would get some cake. Everybody's gonna get some cake. Okay, well, let me see. What was your question, From Earth? I'm not seeing a question. What does T think of me or see me as? She seems to like me, thanks. Has she told about me to others? What's going on? What's going on? Dun 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 dun. Okay. How does T feel about From Earth? I remember you told me your name, but it's like slipped my mind at this point. Doesn't matter. Things are getting heavy next door. This conversation in the room next door is getting deep. Okay, so From Earth we've got number 16 of the trumps here. It is the Tower reversed. And this is something that both of you have experienced recently. So the Tower is like a deconstruction of your identity. You become aware of things that you've been believing about yourself and about other people and about the universe that is not true. And it's scary. It's like, hey, shit, if these things that I believe are not true, then what do I believe? Where does my value lie? And it can be, it can be hopeless, it can be overwhelming, it can be painful to go through that. If you're clinging on to the identity, it can be really painful. But that's something you've both been through recently. It's not really saying if that's like because of this relationship, because of past relationship. It's just the environment has done this. The universe has presented both of you with new people, new circumstances, new opportunities that have kind of challenged you to prove to yourself that the things you've been believing are true. And then when you tried to meet that challenge, you realized those things weren't true. And it was like being at the edge of a cliff. It's like thinking there's road there and then stepping onto air. In the present, we've got number 5 reversed. Number 5 reversed, the Hierophant. What is this saying regarding your question? Okay, I get it now. So T thinks you are like a bad example. You're a bad influence. You're like the one person in the friends group or in the group who is like, who stirs who stirs the pot and causes the peer pressure and just a bad influence, the naughty influence, the naughty boy, basically, is what she's seeing. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is reversed. So this is saying that she likes you, and she finds that bad boy energy really attractive, but she doesn't feel like it's a good idea to be in a relationship with you because she has goals that she wants to achieve with her life and her studies and whatever she's doing. And she feels like being in a relationship with you would be a distraction, and it would take her away from her goals rather than bring her closer to them, and that's something she's concerned about, and that is the reluctance. So she has been talking to other people about this, the people that she's closest to, like her best friends, her friend circle, her like girlfriends. She's been talking to them about it all, and that's what's going on. She sees you as a bad boy and doesn't feel like getting involved with bad boy energies is good for her future. But that can still change. Maybe it's a false perception. Oftentimes we see in other people the things we don't want to acknowledge in ourselves. So if she's seeing you as like a bad boy and a bad influence, maybe it's because she's a bad girl and she's a bad influence. And she tries to hide that about herself, but then you don't hide those parts of yourself, and it triggers her, and she sees all the things she hides in herself in you. That's very possible. So Captain Roz says, I've been going to gym for 2 years and stopped now. I'm starting again. Will I again have that aggressive look? And woman chasing me. How long of going to the gym will it take? Promoter says, oh no, she is nothing to me. Just for my curiosity, I asked. Well, that's disappointing. That's really disappointing. And I don't believe you. I don't believe that she's nothing to you and that you're just curious. Not for a single second do I believe that, mate. Okay, so where are we? We are doing a reading for Captain Ross, who's been going to gym for 2 years and stopped and now is starting again. Will I again have that aggressive look and women chasing me? How long of going to gym will it take? The rest of your fucking life, Captain Ross. That's what it's gonna take. Yeah, maybe it'll take a year, maybe it'll take 2 years to get back to that aggressive look that the women chased you for. If you stay consistent and you go to gym at least twice a week and you work out for at least 4 hours a week, so like 2 hours each time you go to gym, and you make use of all the different tools, you know, like weights and cardio and all of it. Yeah, you'll get to that aggressive look, whatever that aggressive look is. And how long will it take? Probably a year, 2 years, depending on your consistency and your commitment. But if you want to keep that look, you're going to have to continue with that routine for the rest of your life. Otherwise, you will backslide. You know, that's how it works. Okay, so Captain Roz, I don't feel like that question is really necessary to ask the tarot, so I'm gonna move on. Mirage, are you still here? Because you'd be up next if you are. Hey Obsidian Pagan, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to House Kerr in the realm of Google. Good day all. Hope the weekend has treated everyone kindly. It's been quite a weekend, but it has been a great weekend. Very productive and deep. Productive and deep. So it looks like Mirage is gone. Scrolling on. Toya, Miss Libra. You actually have me pulled up on both YouTube and Twitch. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that double support. Toya, Miss Libra, are you still here? Nah, you're not. Okay, scrolling on. Priyara Thor, are you still here? No, you are not. Sabrina? Nope. Nope. Obsidian Pagan, you are here. on 2 platforms, and there is one other person who is viewing us, and if I recognize that energy, it is Evo L, it is Evo Lucija. So let me know, Obsidian Pagan, if you would like a tarot reading. From Earth is saying, oh, Sabrina is here. Okay. Well, thanks for sticking around, Sabrina. I will give you your reading. Ah, it was Almondine. It's not Evo L. So, Almondine, do you want a tarot reading? Because I'm going to give one for Sabrina now. And from Earth. Why is that? For some reason, she's been on my mind. Not sure why. There's many other options, but at the same time, I don't want to do anything with her. Well, maybe you don't have to do anything with her. Maybe you can just, like, be present with her. Maybe you can, like, listen to something she has to say, or maybe she will listen to something you have to say. Sabrina wants to know when she will meet Justin in real life. I'm not so sure if the tarot is going to give you a specific time frame on that question, but we will find out. Sure, Captain Ross, sure. And the tarot, it can answer your question, but I didn't need the tarot to answer your question. Okay, so we got Almondine in the queue, and we got Obsidian Pagan in the queue, and Sabrina and Captain Ross. So it actually goes Sabrina, then Captain Ross, then Almondine, then Obsidian Pagan. Obsidian Pagan is saying, actually, honestly, the one you gave me a while back along with Aziz Azura's reading last week have really filled me quite well. So I'll gladly wait my turn and think of a good question for you. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for, keeping the ball rolling. Aren't we playing soccer? I saw all you guys in a dream the other day, and we were all like training for a big worldwide soccer match. Okay, when is Sabrina gonna meet Justin in real life? We have the universe reversed. And that's number 21 of the trumps. So there's like this picture in your mind of what you'd like your universe to look like, your world, how you'd like it to function. And so the point of all of your productive action is to try and make your physical world correspond with that vision up there. But when you do this, when you actually step out to do it, then there's these distractions, outside influences, shadow aspects of yourself, triggers, and all kinds of weird things that come up that seem to get in the way of you actually causing your environment to look the same way as your vision. But this is a lesson process. This is like each time that you step out, you become aware of a new shadow or a new trigger. And then you find ways to work around that the next time you take action. So don't let it discourage you too much. And I feel like this is specifically towards meeting in real life. Like you've got this idea of how you're going to make it happen, both of you. And then when you actually start taking action to do it, there are things like procrastination, anxiety, and all kinds of things that come up and interfere. But each time that you try, you become aware of a new variable that's playing on your field, and you get to find a way to work around it and do better the next time, next try. Present interval card is Six of Swords. So this is kind of saying that both of you have expanded your mental realms. Both of you have expanded your knowledge and the things that you're just generally knowledgeable about through this relationship that you have. Even though it's like long distance and you've never met, you have such deep, intimate, and like serious conversations that it really causes you to question your past limitations, your past self-limitations and limiting beliefs, and overcome them as you learn from him and his experience and his knowledge, and he learns from you and your perspective. You're both like kind of evolving because of the relationship. And I feel like that card is saying that's the importance of the connection, and that might be something that you guys miss out on when you finally do meet in person. There will be new things that open up when that happens, but this part, this value that you found in your digital communications, is something that might like backtrack a little bit when you do meet. That card is also saying that it's a strong connection you have. It's a deep, strong, and thoughtful connection. So Eight of Discs in the future position is saying that most of the resistances to you guys meeting in person is like distance and finances. So there are changes you could be making to your present and your lifestyle and your habits, like addictions, expenses. There are things that you could be changing and making shifts and adjustments to that could help you save up, or can help you find ways to overcome those financial and distance obstacles. And that is going to be required. You're going to have to take initiative to like make it happen, to overcome those resistances, and to get the finances to pay for bus tickets or accommodation or whatever the resistance might be. So what was that cue again? It was Sabrina, then Captain Ross, then Almondine, and then Obsidian Pagan, and welcome Jeeb. Yeah, welcome Jeeb. That last name is lots of consonants and very little. It's like all consonants and no nouns, and I don't know how to say it. It looks like Dwemer, it looks like Dwarvish language. Hi, I left my ex a long time ago and they're still on my mind. Can you tell me if they have any messages for me? Okay, I like that idea. That's a little bit different. That's a new spin on the relationship. What are they thinking? Because those what are they thinking relationship readings get real old real quickly. But this one here where you are saying, well, do they have any like messages for me? That is valuable. That is valuable for sure. I have received value from messages like that, from readings like that. Hey Shivi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Anyway, we're doing a reading for Captain Roz, and then for Almondine, and then for Obsidian Pagan, and then for Jeeb. And Shivi, you're welcome to join that queue if you're interested. So Captain Ross says, so when I'm outside, when a random person sees me, what do they see me as? Like their first thought? That kind of question would be best for the scrying ball. Then I could see a clear vision of what they see you as. It would be like a monkey, or an ape, or a squirrel, or a fox, or a dragon. I'd see an actual image of something in that. But hey, you know, tarot can give us like energetic frequencies. Shivi just wanted to say hi. Thank you so much for the care. And you too. Take care, Shivi. I'm sure that I'll see you soon and I look forward to it. Oh, look at that. So the universe is answering you. Hello, little goose. Hey there, fine gentlemen. May I be added to the list? Most certainly, little goose. You may be added to the queue. Okay, so we got Princess of Swords for you, Captain Ross, and 5 of Discs. So firstly, this Princess of Swords is saying that when people see you, they feel trapped. Immediately, that's the sense they get, like panic, like they need to escape. Like you are approaching chaos, like you are fire, change incarnate, a tower, a devil, something that needs to be escaped. And this is kind of irrational. But yeah, they feel that panic, and that's what that Ace of Swords is saying to me. Not Ace of Swords, god damn it, Princess of Swords. The other card is a 5 of Discs. And this is telling me that the reason this comes up for them, the reason this like panic comes up for them, is because it seems to them like you are very fucking big. Not necessarily physical, but spiritually and emotionally. Like you're capable of a lot. And even if you don't have ill intentions, it's very intimidating for people. And that's what sends them into this panic. Like your energy is big and intense, like there's nothing you can't accomplish, and that scares them. Okay, so after Captain Roz was Almondine. Hey little goose, please ask a question whenever you're ready. No pressure. Bunsfish 08081. Bunsfish. Cool name, very creative. Thank you for that follow, Bunsfish. And I got you, you're in that queue. So Almondine, I don't remember if you asked the question or if you just want like general, general love reading. Cool. It works, eh? Your join command works just fine. Little Goose says, how long have you been doing this work, young fine man? So I have been reading tarot for 3 years, but I was dabbling in Kabbalah and numerology before I even picked up the tarot deck. But if you're asking me how long have I been on YouTube, maybe 5 months, 6 months, not very long. You are John, and you want to know why your female cousin keeps looking at you. Well, I have a lot to say on that, but let me do Almondine's reading, and then we can talk about that. Well, we've got some others in the queue, but I can give you a little tidbits of information on why my female cousins have looked at me. Bunsfish wants to know where I live. It doesn't look like any place in America. It certainly isn't any place in America. It's kind of on the southernmost coast of Africa. Yeah. Okay, so Almondine. Let's see, what general guidance does the universe and the spirits thereof have for you regarding your love life? So we've got a 10 of Cups here. This is your first card, Almondine. This is kind of saying to me that the relationships you've been in recently... Is this talking about a romantic relationship? That machine keeps making a horrible beeping sound. and I don't know what it's about. Anyway, back to your reading. This is talking about relationships that have the potential to become romance. Relationships that you've been investing of your emotional energy into. You've been investing into it because you want to see that reflected back to you. You want to have someone you can confide in, and you want to develop this fulfilling relationship. And basically, all of what you've been investing has come to fruition. Those people that you've been investing your time and energy into are reflecting it back at you, and you are seeing the returns of that. Like, these people are actually trustworthy. It is valuable relationships. They're not black holes. They're not draining you. They actually bring as much value as you bring to the table. Present interval card is your Two of Wands reversed. God's lick wants to know how to ask a question. That is a very strange question. How do I ask a question? You kind of just make a statement with an X, with it like a question mark on the end, and that works. Excuse my sarcasm. Please excuse my sarcasm. Almondine, this is saying that there is opportunity for like passionate connection. Deep passionate connection. Lots of pleasure, lots of sex, also some heated arguments, and frustrations, jealousy. A very heated, passionate, fiery relationship. There's potential for that right now in your present. It's talking about a specific individual, actually. Who does this resonate with? You've got someone in your space, someone that you've been communicating with regularly that embodies those things. Someone you get jealous of, someone you get into heated arguments with. Now, this relationship might be platonic right now, but this card is saying that there's potential for more there. There's potential for sex, and there's potential for lust and passion and fire in every sense of the word, not just the jealousy and the frustration and that aspect of it. There's also some value, some really great value there. The card being reversed is saying that you are missing out on that. You're missing out on that. I don't want to say it, but it's telling me commitment issues. Like, you want something more than what this seems to offer. It's like you look at this and you're like, it doesn't look committed, doesn't look long lasting. Not so sure I want to go that route. And the tarot is kind of encouraging you to go for it. To not worry so much about long-term commitment and take it as it comes. Future interval card is Knight of Wands. So this is saying that one way or another, if you continue on, if you miss out on that opportunity, if you decide that's not for you, it doesn't resonate with you, that idea of that fiery, fire burns quickly. You set a page on fire, it burns up, it's bright and it's hot and it's painful and dangerous and warm, but it doesn't last very long. So if you decide that's not for you and it's not something that resonates with you, whether you choose that or whether you choose to dive into it head first and enjoy it while it lasts, either which way there's going to be a rebirth for you. It's going to result in a rebirth of your intentions when looking for new relationships, and rebirth in your desires and what you actually want out of relationships and out of your love life. It's going to basically, I can't really say for certain. I see like a crossroads, like a fork. So if you're looking for that long-lasting, committed relationship, then that's going to be a rebirth. It's going to be in alignment with that. Old cycles where you have people in your life who are this passionate energy, this passionate, quick-burning energy, you're going to start distancing from that kind of frequency. And if you go for that, then in the future you're going to find that's something that becomes like a requirement in relationships. I see you say nope, not lately. Well, maybe something comes up for you. It is talking about the present. It's talking about like right now. Like yesterday, today. There's no one around you lately that you've been close to. Physically close to? Surely there are still people that you interact with though, digitally and otherwise. John Silver, welcome. So we had Obsidian Pagan next on that queue. So Obsidian Pagan, if you came up with a question, I can put you into that queue now. And John says, hey, her sir. Sometimes when I'm out, I notice something. A girl would take a secret picture of me. I want to know, what does this mean? What do they do with these pictures? Why does this happen? Thanks, sir, very much. But you felt that about the passionate relationship cycles. Okay. You're welcome, Almondine. John Silver, that's a very strange phenomenon that you're describing there. Thanks so much for the follow. Yes, it's a big long one, says the Obsidian Pagan. 1 second. Very long, it's going to penetrate very deep. You don't have to join the queue, dude. I can just like do a reading for you. Go and get a reading from Aziz Azura, David, but please bring me the tobacco. Okay. Hello, Aziz Azura.
Hello, Kerr.
My beautiful wife.
My beautiful husband. I'm not gonna go on camera, I'm not appropriating jokes.
Okay, so here we go. Obsidian Pagan says, one area in life I'm still struggling with is how to find comfort and companionship with myself, even though I know I have friends and loved ones who understand and connect with me.
Can I roll the volume real quick?
I would greatly appreciate and welcome guidance. I thought you were gonna like sit here and roll and...
Can I do that?
Yeah, that's what I thought was
I don't
going
want
on.
to distract you.
I'll do my best not to become distracted. Okay. How to find comfort and companionship with yourself. You don't know if the whole thing wrote out on YouTube, so you're saying it on Twitch. Okay, well, I will cross-reference when it does come. still contemplating like my own life experience perspective on your question. So what is coming to me is like a first step for you is to start appreciating and recognizing the things that you do, like trying to make a shift in that inner voice in your mind. Like when you make a mistake, instead of telling yourself to fuck off or you stupid idiot, say something like, it's okay, you can try again. Say something encouraging. Say something you're doing your best. You want to start changing that inner voice. That would be the first step. So that's what all those weird sounds are. It's the cat walking on the keyboard. But we're gonna read for you anyway. Okay, I see you. It didn't come through the same on YouTube. One area in life I'm still struggling with is how to find comfort and companionship with myself, even though I know I have friends and loved ones who understand and connect with me, share interests, etc. I still feel hopelessly alone sometimes. I haven't found out how to truly and unconditionally love and connect with myself and be my own best friend. So I want to quote something that comes straight out of Gert Ziegler's Handbook on the Thoth Tarot, and that is with the Hermit card. The affirmation for the Hermit card is, I am comfortable with my own company and I can choose to stop being alone at any time. So you're saying you sometimes feel really hopelessly alone? In those moments, you can choose to interact with your higher self, to interact with the universe, to interact with a friend on social media. You can choose to step out of that loneliness at any point. It's not easy. The feeling doesn't always go away. But acknowledging that you have that authority it has been a key for me in overcoming loneliness. How can Obsidian Pagan become his or her own best friend? Prince of Discs in the position of your past. So this is telling me that your tactics in the past have been to just endure. When the loneliness sets in, you just knuckle down and endure until it dissipates. And it sets in mostly when you're physically isolated. It's like the physical isolation is the biggest challenge for you there, and the way that you've coped with it is to just knuckle down and endure. In the present, we have the Death card, number 13. So this is saying to me that you have a friend or a family member who is undergoing this very journey that you're asking me about here, where they're learning to become their own best friend and learning to be present with themselves, to unconditionally love and connect with themselves. And this has created a rebirth in your relationship to them. Suddenly the old person that they were is not there anymore. The relationship that you had and the things you got out of it, the things you relied on that relationship for, are no longer there. And yeah, it's kind of inspiring you. It's kind of like making you look at yourself and saying, okay, maybe I need to go inside as well. Maybe I need to follow that same journey. Maybe that's the way. Maybe ultimately that's the way to get out of the loneliness and the disconnect. So this card is saying that for your friend, for this person who's going through this rebirth and learning to love with themselves and be present with themselves, it is instrumental for them. It is so important for them to be going through this. It brings them closer to who they truly are. And it's no coincidence that you were in a relationship with them at the time that they had to go through that. That was instrumental for you to become who you are. Having to witness them go through it and then feel what you feel as a result, that's part of your process. That's part of you shifting into who you are authentically. Future interval is number 21. So this card is the universe, and this is a little bit of advice on how you can escape or eschew loneliness. Basically, look in your mind. What does your reality look like? What do you want your reality to look like? And then start applying yourself to make it that way. Like, you've got this vision in your mind, now start exercising your physical body and your words and your motivations to start causing your physical reality to correspond with that vision of reality that you have. And yeah, throw yourself into that, dedicate your time and efforts into that. And first of all, that will attract other people who are doing the same thing. But yeah, are there many people? Is there a lot of company in that vision in your mind? Are you alone in that vision in your mind? Because what you're seeing up there, you go out and you create it for yourself. And yeah, being productive within that will help you with the loneliness, and it will also, it'll elevate your frequency so that you start attracting other people on that same frequency into your sphere. Whether that's also through social media, maybe that's psychic communications, maybe that is people into your physical space, or maybe that's you into their physical space. What does it look like to you? Because you're going to work on making it that way. And yeah, that's what I'm getting from the tarot here. I hope that it gives you a starting point. A compass heading, a map marker, yeah, hope it gives you a pointer. So these people, they came in here and they rolled themselves cigarettes and didn't roll me one. How polite. And I see that Bunfish said, thanks for letting me join the queue, but I have to leave now. So sorry. Thank you and have a good one. You too. Cheerio. Tot ziens, as we say in Afrikaans. Almond Dine says rolling 2 over here. What you smoking, Almond? I hope it's drugs. Of course it's drugs. If you're smoking something, it's a drug of some kind, isn't it? Obsidian Pagan says yes, that was once again insanely guiding and helpful. Thank you very much, and I've written it down and will reflect on it often. It really does encourage me to hear that you received value. I did feel like there was value there, but sometimes people can hear the value and they don't really know what to do with it. I'm so glad that you are finding the value to be applicable. I'm smoking regular yellow Camel Rollies, so the drug you're smoking there is nicotine. I'm smoking regular Black Bob's tobacco, vanilla flavored. John is telling me not to get too high. I'm doing my best, man. I'm doing my best. Do my best not to get high. Everybody is offering me weed. People offering me mushrooms. People offering me iboga. They're saying, hey, it's the equinox tomorrow. We're doing a ceremony. why don't we take this hardcore plant medicine? I'm like, not the fuck, guys. I'm just gonna kill some birds and have sex and cook some meat on a fire. Thank you very much. I don't need no drugs. Almondine says, no weed these days, unfortunately, with a crying face. I have so much weed after I grew it last year. I grew a whole fuck ton of weed, and then I stopped smoking it. It was just like kind of happened. I started smoking this and this and this, and then there was whole weeks in between, and now there's whole months in between, and it's just like lasting forever. What a flex, haha. Excuse me, I didn't mean to flex. I was kind of just saying that maybe weed lasts longer when you don't smoke it. Flex those muscles, yeah. Give me a flex, Almondine. Give me a weird, cringy flex. So what was the first card actually again? Past card? Let me have a look there. It was the Prince of Discs. Nice. You've got a new job. Nice. Hope it brings you that wealth and abundance belong. Beyond what you can imagine. And John Silver wants to know how long am I going to be live for? So like 30 minutes, another 30 minutes. There is enough time for you, John. I'm basically going to do the reading for everybody who's in the queue currently, and I will just stop taking requests at this time. And yeah. Okay, so where are we at? Ondine, Obsidian Pagan. Then we had Jeeb. Jeeb on YouTube. Let me know if you're here because you left your ex a long time ago and you want to get a message from them. I'd love to do that reading. Please let me know if you're still here. Please be here. Thanks, Almondine, on my radio station. QYR 97. That's a joke. That's a running joke. The name is Kerr. Ah, you're here. Amazing. So what message does Jeeb's ex have for him, her? Ghost Floof says for soft hearts. Basically that means that today I'm putting a little bit of frosting and sugar coating on the readings. As in usually it's like very blunt and cuts to the core and can be very triggering. Basically. But I'm afraid, Ghost Floof, that I've just closed the queue. Yeah, sorry to disappoint. Maybe, you know, people leave the chat. Maybe I'll just, like... You saw that coming. Aish, I'm sorry. So sorry. I don't want to give you false hope and then I get exhausted. We've already been here for 2.5 hours and we got people in the queue already. And I was like gunning for 3 hours. So we got a Prince of Discs in your past here. It's a reverse card. So your ex wants to acknowledge and is acknowledging something that's been in their mind. It's like hey, I realize now that back then the difficulties we faced in our finances and in our sex life, we tried to just endure. We tried to just have that like bull kind of energy and just push forward, and that wasn't really enough. We needed to look a little deeper and find the roots of the problems and really face them, but we didn't. We just thought if we endure we'll get through, and it wasn't really enough. And I see that now. Back then I wanted to blame you for it, but in the present I realized that it was neither of us. Like, it wasn't my fault, it wasn't your fault. We both could have taken a better approach. Well, Ghost Floof, here's a workaround. Send me a tip of whatever size and I will make sure you get a reading before I bounce out of here. Okay, so Jeeb, in the present I have 5 of discs. Five of discs reversed. What is this card saying to me? It's talking about reaching too far, trying to do more than what she's capable of or he's capable of. Okay, so the message that I'm getting from this one is that your ex is saying, I wish I still had you as an example to follow right now. I have limits on my resources, on my finances, my technology, and my knowledge, and I wish that I still had your example to follow, or your advice, to get your advice, to be able to reflect on these difficulties that I'm facing, because I feel like I'm taking 1 step forward and then going 2 steps back. And back then, in those days, when I came to you with these issues, you always had insightful guidance for me, and I wish you were here to give me that guidance and to be that example. Am I Dutch or German or Estonian by any chance? So I am actually South African. There is a very little bit of German heritage on my dad's side. Ghost Floof says, lol, I knew it. Nice guess. Okay, future interval is 5, the Hierophant, and this is saying that he or she, your ex, is about to become their own example. They're about to step into that role of being the example they don't have. Having learned from you and from the relationship that you guys had, taking all of that experience and knowledge and applying it to a new cycle and a new objective to its maximum potential, taking smaller steps, because here we see overreaching, trying to go too fast, making adjustments to that. Former South African. How do you be a former South African? Godslick says, when I see you, I see the Joker from The Dark Knight. That's fucking cool. Heath Ledger is fucking cool, man. He played the Joker really well. Moved to Japan almost 2 years ago, not going back. Well, best of luck to you, best wishes to you in your new journey in Japan. Yeah. Most welcome, Ghost Floof. Okay, so who was up next? After Jeeb, we had Little Goose. The Little Goose, are you still here? I might be the upcoming Joker. Wouldn't that be something? I kind of don't have any interest in acting. I did like a couple of extras. I was an extra a couple of times, and I just really didn't gel with the frequency of the film industry. Little Goose is here, amazing. So your friend, your female cousin has been looking at you. Yes, I wanted to talk a bit about that. So you are one of their examples of masculinity. Like, I'm a father, my daughter will stare at me often. She's young, but I'm going to take that into consideration. She will stare at me often, and it's like kind of like admiration. It's kind of like, how can I be more like that? It's like an analyzing. It's like learning from your behavior, from your patterns, from your speech, from your countenance, from everything that you are. My female cousin, like one who is just under me, so I've got a male cousin who's like slightly older, and I've got a female cousin who's slightly younger on both sides of the family, and both of them have this like that same kind of energy, that same like staring, wanting to bond, wanting to get close. It's because we are part of the example of what masculinity is for them. They're learning what healthy platonic masculine relationships look like. We fathers, brothers, and cousins, that's how a girl develops her understanding of what she's looking for in a partner. So that's what's basically is going on there, is she's learning from you. You're an influencer for her. And then, more than that, I find my cousins to be fucking hot, sexy as fuck, and God forgive me for saying this, but if we were on like a similar age level, I would totally have banged them. And that's like totally lawful in just about every country. Just some food for thought. Sweet home Alabama. You don't really talk to them, but she is older than me. Maybe you look goofy and weird to her. Just kidding. I'm gonna look into the tarot and see what the tarot has to say for you. Ghost Floof has a really nice little tidbit to say there. She looks up to you as a role model for chivalry, if nothing else. That's like smack bang on the head of the nail. Ghost Floof says, I have super hot nieces as well, especially in Joburg. Okay, so what clarity can the thought deck provide to us as to why The female cousins are staring at Little Goose. All of their husbands are abusers. Broke one's jaw a few years ago. Best day of my life. Well done. Break that jaw. Use it to slay the Philistines. I don't know if anybody caught that reference. Using the jawbone of an ass as a weapon. Okay, so we've got number 5 of the trumps. It's the Hierophant. So this is kind of saying that for a while she looked at you and she was like, ugh. Boys. Ugh. In the past, that's how it's mostly been between you and her. Well, from her perspective anyway. But something has changed in you. Something has dramatically changed. And you are stepping into your masculinity. You're stepping into your identity. And this is impressive for her. To watch the shift and the evolution is impressive. And it's like watching a science experiment take place in real time. Ah, 5 of Wands. Reversed. So this is saying that she is also stepping into her femininity, and she's been interested in boys for a while. Her perception of boys has changed from one of like, oh, boys have goodies to, oh, boys are hot. And your development into your masculinity is attractive to her, and she's not really sure what to do with those feelings, but it's entirely normal. It's entirely normal for that to take place, even amongst siblings. And seldomly is anything ever acted on, but those feelings do rise. They do exist. Thank you so much for the follow. Something that's opening up for her. Some adjustments in her perception. Her adjustments in her perception of you, and adjustments in her perception of men at large because of you and your influence in her life and the example that you have been to her. Watching you evolve out of that boyish character into your masculinity, it's kind of inspiring for her, and it shifts her perspective on all men so that she can simultaneously see the potential that a boy has to be a man, and she can simultaneously see the boy, the young, vulnerable, playful boy in the stern, stoic man. I hope that gives you some clarity. Very old reference indeed. Impressed. Little Goose says, I wonder what your wife thinks of that comment. She'd probably laugh. She'd really laugh at me quite hysterically. Because, yeah, in Islamic culture, it's actually very normal for cousins to be married to cousins. Look at that, see, he went from a shy boy into a thug-like tough man. So secure in your toughness that you don't mind being called Little Goose. Geese are fucking aggro though. I live on a farm and, yeah, geese are a force to be reckoned with. Get you a battle goose and you'll have no problems. Okay, let's see who we've still got to read for. God's Lick. So how do I ask a question? Oh, alright, so I'm moving into a new school. I'm curious to see how I'll be viewed. My name is Jeremy, thank you very much. And then we have John Silva after that. So Godslick, are you still here to receive your reading? Haha, until you meet an ostrich that likes your shorts and khakis. I've never had that issue. I've never had an ostrich chase me. Praise be to the divine. Okay, so Godslick, you're up next. Ghostfloof says, former farmer as well. Those were the days. What can Godslick expect in this new school? I feel like these cards are not getting a good enough shuffle. So where in SA am I? I'm in the Western Cape, on a farm outside of Neisner, between Sedgefield and Neisner, if you're familiar. Neisner is just after George if you're coming down the N2 from Cape Town towards PE. Oh, look at that, you got cards jumping out of the deck for you. Not at all, I was way north. Yeah, I spent some time up there too. Hartbees put Dam, Pretoria. Amazing! Someone sent me a tip. So much appreciation and thanks. Let me check who that was. Okay, but your card that jumped out, Godslick, is the Ace of Swords. So this is like a wild card. It just gives you some general overview. It's saying that there's going to be a lot of communication. So we got a $10 tip from an Ali. So Ali, am I prioritizing you for a reading? Because that's a priority tip for sure. So there's going to be a lot of communication happening regarding what you have learned so far at the school that you've come from. People are going to be asking you a lot about your experience there, about things that you were taught there, your study methods, etc. There's going to be a lot of that going on. Your subjects, the subjects you prefer. Most of the new connections you form there, it's going to be around these topics, school topics, learning topics, particularly from where you've come from. So Ghostfloof, are you saying you're the one who sent that tip? Amazing, so you're prioritized. I need to finish this reading that I'm busy with, and then I'll be with you. What more can we expect? Ah, it's a secret lurker. Oh baby sent it. Amazing. Cool. So oh baby, I'll prioritize you when I'm done with this reading. You'll be next. Thank you so much, by the way, for the support. So we got a 9 of discs here. In the position of your past. Huh. So this card is it kind of wants you to ask yourself, why are you moving schools? Like, what happened? What did you do wrong? What did you do right? You want to take responsibility for the mistakes that you made so you can avoid repeating them at this new school. You want to also acknowledge your breakthroughs and your successes and the things that you did well so that you can reapply those methods and grow in your influence and your social groups quicker than before. Eight of Cups in the present. So this is saying to me that you're feeling like there is like an imbalance in the amount of emotional energy that you're giving out versus how much you receive. You're feeling like there are a lot of people, friends and family members who are very needy for your attention, complaining to you a lot, expecting like an ear or a shoulder to cry on, but you're not having that space. You're not having the space to have your own emotional experience validated. And this card is kind of encouraging you to express that to them, set some boundaries, maybe distance yourself from people who do that, who drain you. You want to get into better balance as you step into this new schooling environment, because there's going to be a lot of that happening again. Like currently in the present, from where you've come, there are still things that are attached to you that are draining you and your energy, and when you go into this new school, it's going to open up a lot of that. You're going to have to stand on your boundaries, have discernment about who you're going to get involved with and who you're not going to get involved with, because there's going to be a lot of people who want attention because you're the new kid. A lot of people who are not really there to give any value in return, but just to take. And you need to be able to set boundaries there and distance yourself from that kind of energy. Princess of Swords in reverse. So there's gonna come a point once you've started at this new school where you feel like it's a burning building and you've got nowhere to run. Like ruin is like closing in around you and there's nowhere left to go to escape it. And it's something you felt at the last school as well. And this card wants to encourage you. It wants to say to you that inside you, in the depths of who you are and your character, exists the potential in order to overcome. Your creativity and your critical thinking and your ability to memorize and study well, that can give you wings to fly off of that burning building, to throw yourself wholly into your goals and your studies. That is the way that you escape that burning building. And yeah, so that's your reading. I hope you got some value, and I see you asking why do they need your attention. They don't need it, they want it for their own selfish reasons. They've got their own issues that they are not acknowledging and not self-reflecting on, as we saw with your 9, to reflect on what your mistakes were and what your successes were. So if you're not doing that and you're blaming the environment, you're taking from the people around you constantly, looking for attention, looking to blame others, looking to blame the universe, and yeah, it's not something they're conscious of. So compassion is important when faced with that kind of situation where someone is needy for your attention and they don't really know why, or they get upset when you can't give it. Compassion is important because they're not aware of what they're doing. Okay, so Oh Baby is up next for a 6-card spread. Priority tip. VIP status. And I'm really glad to hear, Godslick, that you got value out of that spread. I'm very much glad to hear that. I do appreciate your feedback. You're welcome, Batman. Okay. So, Oh Baby, do you have a question that you'd like me to answer, or you'd like to have the universe answer, Or do you just want some general guidance and insight? Some guidance. Beautiful, beautiful. We can make that happen. Right? We can make that happen, guys. So what does Oh Baby need to be aware of, and what opportunities exist in his or her present which can be seized? So that's your general overview. It's like an about card, basics of what's going on in your present. It is also your present. Crossing card, that's kind of like why the present looks the way that it does. Conscious thoughts, this is what you've consciously been processing. Unconscious thoughts, this is what you've been processing that you're not even aware is affecting you. Past interval, this is where you've come from, things that you are closing for you, and this is what's opening up for you, opportunities that lie ahead. Now let's turn these cards over and gaze into the inner sea. We've got a 10 of Cups reversed. Okay, so 10 of Cups reversed, it's like where you've been investing your emotional energy and your time into people around you. It's coming back to you in the present, and not all of it was good, you know, like there were some moments where you were needy, and we were talking about neediness in the last spread. There were some times where you were needy and draining on other people, and there were other times where you offered good support and you brought about satiating and happiness for people. So all of that's coming full circle for you in the present. The people who receive negative intentions from you are returning those things to you. If they felt like you drained them at some point, those people are now trying to, or not deliberately trying to, but they're seeking that in return. They're expecting to be able to get what they've given. And it's not pleasant, but there are also moments where you gave abundance, and those people who received abundance from you and security from you, they are returning that in the present. That card also wants to encourage you to go ahead and sow new seeds, make new investments of your time and energy and emotional support into the relationships that you have from a healthier standpoint, because now being able to see the results of what you've given, you've learned, and you can do better going forward. A nice analogy I like to use is like, okay, I planted a harvest, I planted crops, and some shit went down and the crop wasn't everything that I hoped it would be, and I can't let that discourage me. I can't be like, oh, I'm not going to sow any more seeds because that was a cuck harvest. It's just, then that means next season I'm not going to have any harvest whatsoever. So a poor harvest is better than no harvest. Crossing card, I think it's a crossing card. Where did I take this card from? No coincidences. Coincidence is a lie. So your crossing card is the 5 of Cups, and that's saying that it's okay what you've been through and the neediness that happened, and the you kind of being a black hole to certain people and being a radiant star to other people. It's okay. You were doing the best that you could. You had a certain understanding of your emotional being and your emotional experience, and so you were doing the best that you could with what you knew and how you understood yourself. So yeah, don't beat yourself up about it. Just sow new, healthier seeds in the present. Conscious mind. Princess of Swords, very interesting. So this is saying that you are co-creating. You are looking to your connections and your relationships. This is what's going on in your conscious thoughts. You're like looking at close connections and the people that you're close to, like emphasizing on close, strong connections. And over there you're like developing partnerships. So you have goals that you're working to. What's that word? Academic goals. And you're basically forming like study groups, or you're interacting with people who are also in like some kind of academic study. It doesn't have to be something like university or school. It could be a topic that you're researching of your own accord, and you're interacting with other people who are also on that journey of like self-discovery and expanding their knowledge. And in doing so, you're learning from them and they're learning from you. And yeah, that's what's going on in your conscious mind, and you're coming up with creative solutions, tapping your ingenuity in order to overcome any kind of obstacles that you might face regarding that expansion of your knowledge. It's kind of like a pat on the back, like a kudos. The Fool in reverse, number 0, doesn't have a number. This is in your unconscious thoughts. This is what your unconscious mind is processing, that is affecting your present, that is, you know, what I was talking about there, reaping the returns, seeing the returns on things that you've put out, of emotional energy that you've put out. And it's affecting you on every level. It's even what inspires you to make these connections and do these researches that you're doing and learn these things that you're learning. The Fool reversed, basically it talks about hanging on to old habits and old lifestyle. The Fool is about stepping into a new karmic cycle. It's like breaking the old patterns and stepping into a new journey. But there are certain aspects of the old you and the old lifestyle that you don't want to let go of, because they have worked for you. They've been tools that worked for you, and they've also provided you with a sense of like comfort, like a comfort zone. And so ahead of you in this new cycle that you're beginning, there's a lot of unknown, a lot of uncertainty, and it brings with it anxiety. So the reason that there's still this attachment to these old coping mechanisms and these old habits is because you're uncertain if you're going to have anything to bring about that same level of comfort or security in this new cycle. So that's where the reluctance is, but it's to your detriment, just by the way. Hanging on to old things, it prevents the new cycle from completing. It also prevents you from reaching the full potential of what can be experienced in this new journey. So have a look at those things that you're hanging on to that no longer serve you. Like, dive into it. Maybe you're seeing symbols in your dreams, traumatic dreams, nightmares. Have a look at them, have a look at those symbols, because they can give you a hint as to what it is that you're clinging onto and why you're clinging onto it. You want to cut those old habits out. The things that no longer serve need to be cut away. Past interval is the 8 of Swords. This is something that's closing for you and something you've already been through. 8 is a number of shifts and adjustments and adaptation. So it's kind of saying that you had goals in mind, you set goals for yourself, you set purpose for yourself, and you were working towards it. You visualized your outcome, you chose a means to get there, and then you realized that this future you're creating for yourself is not compatible with the character you've been embodying, that you need to completely shift or evolve your character. There's a specific person that lives these goals, that has these dreams realized, and you acknowledged at some point that you would have to start making the shift between who you had been up until that point into who you needed to become in order to see those dreams become your reality and see those goals accomplished. Now that's something that's coming to a close. You have been actively making those shifts and you're making headway. Now, from day to day, it might not be so obvious, but if you have to have a look back each month, if you have to observe your progress and your growth and your evolution process each month and say, you'd be able to see, hey, I've actually made a lot of progress and I've changed quite a lot from month to month. And if you had to look back to a year, you probably wouldn't be able to recognize yourself where you are now. Future interval, Queen of Swords. Okay, so this is like a suggestion for you. It's a bit of advice. It says these goals that you've been working towards, that you've set for yourself, let go of the attachment to the outcome. Let go of any kind of expectation. Just be present with the productive tasks that you have day to day and the healing process or the learning process that you have day to day. Let go of your idealized aspect of your idealized version of an outcome. Now, it's very important to have that visualization in mind when manifesting a dream or a goal. It's important to visualize the outcome, but it's equally as important to let go of any attachment to that outcome so that you can avoid disappointment, because the universe will bring you your desires and will bring you the completion of your goals in ways that you can't even imagine. So it's important that you have the imagining of it, but the universe is going to give it to you in ways that you don't expect. So let go of the expectation lest you become disappointed, or if you're expecting something to happen a certain way, you can end up missing it when it actually realizes into your present because you've expected it to happen a certain way. So this card is just encouraging you to let go of any expectations or any attachment to outcome or any lust for results. And that's your reading, and I hope that you've got immense value out of the spread. There's a lot of things here to contemplate. There's some recognition, there's some pointers, there's some self-reflection, and then some encouragement saying it's okay, you're doing the best that you can, continue taking small steps, and some advice going forward. And I see you saying there, I've been having a lot of really strange dreams lately and I have no idea what they mean. So dream interpretation is an offering that I provide as a private service. So I will encourage you to like DM me, send me a whisper, or reach out to one of my social platforms, and yeah, we can chat about dream interpretations. Maybe you can share your dream and I can give you some insight, tell you what those symbols are meaning to me. But anyway, John Silver, thank you for sticking around. I believe you're next in line, and I believe you are the last reading of the day. So you're saying it's fine if I'm not able to get to you. I'm going to get to you, John, because I committed to read for everyone who was in the queue, and so read for everyone who was in the queue I shall do. So I'm checking to see if you had a question. Sometimes when I'm out, I notice something. A girl would take a secret picture of me, and I want to know, what does this mean? What do they want to do with these pictures? Why does it happen? Thank you so much, sir. Are you freakishly big, John? Are you freakishly sexy? You're not freakishly big, and you're not freakishly sexy. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, brother. The girls might think you're freakishly sexy, even if you don't. They're probably taking pictures of you so that they can like hang it on their wall. And you can become one of their role models, one of their idols that they pray to. I'm talking cuck now. Let me just read the tarot. Thanks. Thanks. Okay. So, help us understand what the motive is behind these secret pictures of John. So it only happened twice, so now I really want to know. This doesn't happen every day, I see. Okay, well, your first card is number 13 of the trumps. It is death, and this is talking about a rebirth that you have gone through recently. I feel like it's talking about relationships, but it could also be talking about moving. Nah, it's talking about a relationship, mate. It's talking about a relationship that's come to an end, not an end. It's gone through a change, a rebirth. So the way the relationship looked before and the way it looks now is completely and utterly different. You wouldn't recognize the relationship. It's been a good thing. It might have been painful to go through, but it has been a good thing. It has brought you both parties into better alignment and put you in a healthier state of being. So this is kind of what is inspiring it. These girls are probably friends, or they have heard rumors about what happened here with this death card, or whether it was a fight, or whether it was a near-death experience, or what it was. But it seems to me that it's connected, like they have heard rumors, or they know who you are because of this relationship that's gone through a rebirth. And it's like they're taking a secret picture to send to their girlfriend saying, I saw John. Oh my god. Prince of Wands is in your present. So this is saying to me that you have been actively applying yourself towards your passions and your desires. Really tapping your potential. Evolving. Reaching heights that you haven't reached before. Finding solutions to almost impossible problems. And this is inspiring. This is very inspiring. It's connected to that as well. You are an inspiration. You're an inspiration to people in your community. So it doesn't give me clear understanding of why these girls are taking these pictures. I still feel like it's related to that relationship. But yeah, not only are they connected to the relationship, there's also this, that you're an inspiration that's playing a part. So first of all, they know who you are, and they're also aware of the changes you've gone through and the fact that you are reaching heights that you've never reached before. It's kind of making you like a micro niche celebrity in your community among certain friend groups. Future interval is the Queen of Wands. So this card, it's kind of saying to you, don't worry about it. Don't go and ask them what they're doing. Don't like make a big deal out of it, because it's not all that important. If you obsess about it and you talk about it too often, you're going to intimidate people and kind of turn them off and make them, it's going to be cringe. That's what this card is saying here. To fixate on it too much is going to be cringe for the people who hear you talk about it or hear you fixating on it. Just accept it for what it is and move forward. Continue to focus on yourself and you reaching your new heights. And that's your reading. And a big thank you to everybody who supported the stream today, who followed and liked and subscribed, and a big thank you, particularly big thanks to Oh Baby who sent a tip. And welcome Pookie. I'm right at the end of the stream. I'm closing up. Sorry you missed me. I just gave away the last reading of the day. I am utterly exhausted and famished. I need to go and stuff my face full of food and crash into a pillow and sleep for as many hours as I need to sleep. I shall lay upon my hoard and sleep until the age of man expires. That is my desire. So I know, John, that the tarot is not exactly giving you clarity about why this is going on, but it is saying to you, don't worry about it too much. It's not all that important. Don't fixate on it. Don't obsess about it. Yeah. Wishing you all wealth and prosperity beyond measure. I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bang bang. Wednesday we do just chatting. Oh. Wednesday we seek visions in the surface of the black waters. We collapse realities into single one-dimensional points of focus. We do remote healing experiments. So I'll see you then, guys. Looking forward to it. Well, what do you know?